Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Black Ranger Review. Alright, guys, it's time to review issue 41 of Necessary Evil, Power Rangers, obviously. I had to go for a walk after reading this. Mainly, I had to go walk my dog. But I had to think about how awesome this issue was. Another fantastic issue. I'm really. First, I'm going to do non spoiler and then spoiler. So if you don't want to know what happens in the book, you'll see when I flash spoiler after. So, if you were hoping that they didn't like dangle the carrot of what's happening with the Power Rangers, the Trini, Jason, and Zach, who we now know are called, we learned this beforehand, that are called the Omega Rangers. Well, he goes right into it. This isn't the regular cover. This is the variant holographic cover, which I'll get into. I have some issues with that. But this whole issue essentially is what they've been doing and what's going on for the most part. I think we're gonna get more detail in the Go-Go Power Ranger book, obviously. But right now, this issue is awesome. It felt like a spin-off issue. It felt like, honestly, it felt like what Beyond the Grid should have been in the first place, even down to like the Morpher a little bit. But this issue is amazing. It's hard to talk about without any spoilers. But yes, if you're wondering what happened to the three Rangers, the not peace conference, why they're doing what they're doing for the most part, you're gonna get it in this issue. It's fantastic. It's another really well written, has little hints of emotion. You get some new, I'll say, cast members for now. I really love the way Ryan Parrott writes these characters, that they feel so real. And I don't want to go into a bashing of Beyond the Grid, because it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I feel like every character that was new read the same. Especially if you're a longtime Ranger fan, every Ranger in that group felt like they're the same, but we know they're not. And this one, you feel the emotion of the new characters, you get some hints of what the bad guys are doing, and you know the motivation of some other new characters, other new mentor characters. So if you're even thinking about getting this book, please get it. There's some important debuts, I'll say that, in this book. If you're one of the comic collectors that like to get debuts of certain characters that might become big. So, Necessary Evil 41, part 3, I think, of Necessary Evil itself. But, again, the Go-Go books are taking place before this, and I think it's just there to explain it. And I don't even think it needed to be called an event. It's not an event, it's just the next issue, the next phase of the story. So, that's the end of non-spoiler. 10 out of 10, fantastic issue. Let's get into spoiler, guys. Okay. First things first, we have Dane, the new bad guy coming out, researching the Power Rangers. And I kind of like that he's like, these guys are sloppy. They don't know what they're doing. Sorry, I'm sweating. Again, just walk my dog. He feels He feels that they're sloppy. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to work together to get to like their main moves. And he kind of makes fun of Squat and Babu, like, "Hey, this is the guys who are giving Zed such a problem." And they're like, "Well, they have giant Zords." Like, I kind of like that. And then after that, we almost immediately go to the new Omega Rangers. They're talking to Kimberly and Billy, and they kind of feel like, oh, they don't really care about us anymore because they're obviously hiding something. And it's like they don't need us anymore. And to the point where Kimberly even just said like, "Oh, my communicator's beeping, I guess I should go." And they're kind of touching on that in Go-Go, where it's almost like we have nothing in common if we're not all Rangers, because we're all different characters, which is an interesting, way to look at it. And then we cut to everything else, which is what the Omega Rangers have been doing. Their awesome costumes. And we see first of all that they help this community, this safe haven. We don't know what that means yet, but we see that they help this community building houses, talking to the characters. And then we meet a new character, whose name I can't find. I think it's Kaya or something like that. We'll get more about her very soon. Then their communicators go off, and we see that this version of this Ranger team has their own command center, has their own alpha who's a little more sassy, a little more like a strict robot jerk, kind of. And their Zordon is the guy we met at the end of the last issue of Go-Go, who is one of, not the Morphin Masters, but I guess like the entities that own the Morphing Grid. Then I'm like, okay, I'm down for all this. And then they all say, it's Morphin time, but they're Morphers like in Beyond the Grid, are like these wrist things, which I like. I think they're cool. And then they all summon their Morphin energy, which is like Omega Earth, Omega Air, Omega Fire, and Omega Water, which we haven't seen yet. And the four of them become the Omega Rangers. So that new character is the blue Omega Ranger. That's really cool. I didn't see that coming. I didn't hear any rumors about that. They fight these bad guys on this planet, and before I get to that, their Zordon, this morphing grid entity, he's kind of like, if you read comics, he's kind of like Dr. Manhattan, where he sees the past, present, and future, and he's confused on what he's telling the Rangers because he's seeing so many things at once. So that's kind of an interesting concept. I don't fully trust him yet, but we'll see. So they go to this different planet, and they fight these kind of, not putties, but these other bad guys, the minions, and then they meet this bad guy. Well, I'm like, okay, is he the main bad guy of this series? But no, they beat him fairly easily. But what I found interesting, because I kept thinking, like, well, are they just in-space rangers? But it seems like their goal is to fight people that have been affected by the Morphin Grid and have powers from the Morphin Grid. So maybe when Shattered Grid happened, it just spread powers across the universe to different entities and people. And they flat out say, like, the people at Safe Haven were affected by the Morphin Grid, and you could just join that community. You don't have to fight or be sad about your powers or be in pain. He's kind of like, I'm not in pain, this is cool, I'm a giant, I have super strength. Clawing out the amazing art. Really beautiful art. In this moment, the Blue Omega Ranger became a fan favorite, I think. They beat the bad guy, and they put him in a container kind of similar to Rita's container, a little bit, the one on the moon, not Planet Nemesis. And then they go back, and they basically said, like, he had a choice. Join the community and be nice, or be bad and be in container. And we see the Morphin Master, I keep calling him that, I gotta figure out what he is, I forgot, from Shattered Grid. He puts this container in a hall of containers, like, looks like hundreds, not thousands of containers. And he makes it very clear that he doesn't want Shattered Grid to happen again. He doesn't want another Draken to happen. So I'm wondering if the actual term necessary evil is imprisoning these guys. I mean, it's better than killing them like they usually do to the weekly monsters, right? So, and they did mention, like, you'll get hope next time you choose to be a better person, so they will let you out eventually. But it's really interesting if this is the case of necessary evil, especially if maybe they're putting people in containment that didn't do anything yet, but they're just worried, you know? Also, a necessary evil, why are they lying to their friends? Why don't they just tell them, hey, we're on a separate mission, we gotta do a separate thing? So I'm wondering what that could possibly lead to. But this issue is awesome. We have new Rangers. We're obviously have to get another Ranger to complete, you know, at least the core group of 5. And the Blue Ranger even said, like, oh, maybe we can get him out and he can join our group and he can be the new Ranger. So I'm assuming a Pink Ranger somewhere, and there's usually a 6 Ranger somewhere. But when it comes to the design of the Omega Rangers, I love the design. The helmet's awesome. The hand morpher is awesome. The entity, I guess you could say, for Earth, Air, Fire, Water. So I don't know what would be a Thunder, like the Thunder Rangers. I don't know. I would really like if this leads to maybe the creation of the In-Space Rangers. So down the line, because we know Andros had a team before he met the Rangers from Turbo. So like maybe this inspired to make that team in the first place. Something like, you know, a little continuity across, like how a character from Mighty Morphin made Terra Venture. You know, I love how these things connect. You know, one day if I get to write a comic, I'll have a lot of connections. But yeah, this issue's awesome. I love it. When I talked before about the covers, I kind of wish, like, I love these holographic covers. They're beautiful. But I kind of wish it was a little different. Like, if this is representing Rocky, and we know they have the Thunder Megazords now, this should be like the Dragon instead, right? Or even, they could have kept these covers secret until now, and these could have been the covers of the Omega Rangers. Like, them holding their helmets. That would have been really, really cool. So I kind of hope they change that eventually, you know? But yeah, that's my review, guys. Another fantastic issue from Mighty Morphin. It's one of my favorite books. I'm a big comic book collector. It's one of my favorite books every month. It's consistently. I can't wait to see what they're doing next, what surprises they have in Go-Go. I love that I get to basically get 2 Ranger books every month. It's fantastic for me. And I love these variant covers, minus my little complaints. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe. If you don't already know, I have a podcast where I talk about the current Super Sentai Ryu Soldier called Super Sentai Sidekicks. Little thing here. And thank you. Also, my last video got 200 views, guys. That's so cool. That blew me away. It was an unboxing for the new board game. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to the viewers for over 200 views. Again, I know it's not a lot to most YouTubers, but it's a lot to me. It means a lot that the Ranger community is supporting a fellow Ranger. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.